Hey traders, Nick here looking at Beyond Meat. So today is Friday the 22nd. A whole bunch of names falling, this one out of the blue. I don't believe it had anything scheduled, yet they came out with some sort of a revenue forecast. So you have to pay attention to what the company's saying. My comments here today are not as much fundamental as it is helping somebody manage a long position that just went wrong on them. So the problem is, if I remember correctly, I have a whole bunch of lines. So before I scare anybody off, this needed to hold. If you look left, it was so sharp. Beep, beep. Open air on NVIDIA. So short this, mofro. Anyway, so falling this sharp, bouncing this sharply off of a prior bounce level makes it so important not to lose. Depends on where they close today. It's pretty important. Doesn't look like they can recover this, and even then the damage is kind of done, but not really, because it has levels lower. But for that you have to go to a weekly chart to see that. So the next support is 89 and change. Let's call it 89. It's the bottom of this candle. This is a week worth of data, and there's a week before it. So 2 weeks where they said this is the floor and they're coming into it. Now you have to weigh this versus this breakdown. Technically this breakdown could bring it down to here, which would be this cluster of support. So what I'm saying is, technically it could have, it didn't yet, it could have triggered some sort of a bigger measured move on the breakdown of this sharp bounce level that they are losing right now. So again, the comments is to help somebody say, do I capitulate out or not? First of all, revisit your thesis. Was it a fundamental long-term thesis? Was it a technical? You have to revisit that. If that is broken, then I would be out. That's my opinion. Versus, okay, there could be support close by at 89, 88. And if the measured move is lower, that's not going to hold. It's more likely going to be 75, in my opinion, even though the measured move could be a lot lower. So this is pretty bad as far as a breakdown happens. It was unforecasted. There was no event. They chose to come out and say it. What else is there? I mean, why wouldn't they say it whenever they were scheduled to do earnings, whenever that was? Soon. People kill me. Why would you ruin everybody's expectations and trade setups by just coming ahead of time? And it's not like they warned us here somewhere. So, okay, you're giving us 2-3 weeks or 2 months to do something about it. They go and warn people here. Luckily, I don't have a trade on it. But I did write it up at some point, I remember, because I'll show you my lines. And let's update the chart. Whoa! So it was working on a nice uptrend, and I recognized that it would find sellers there. And it didn't get the chance. Actually, they kind of did, and then it didn't get the chance to find footing. I think the market malaise was in September. It kind of dragged it all the way down, and it was coming back, and then this, boom. So needless to say, this did not happen. The targets, well, if somebody got out here, good for them. So that didn't happen. Now we know that this is a problem area, so I will extend it this way. In fact, I can drop it to here. This is going to be all resistance now. Every level that they that was pivotal on the way down, like they tried to hold and they lost, becomes a problem. Okay, so I don't need that here. I don't need that there. All right, let's reset the size. Okay, so this was important, and look, stop out. That was before today, because it could carry down to here. If we look left for those candles we talked about on the weekly, they're going to be in here. So let's see what I have down here. All right, it's a matter of if they want to price out the measured move, which could extend into the 70s, into the 60s, in fact. I'm not forecasting it down there. I'm just telling you where they could be headed and where they could stop. So the best chart to gauge that risk is the weekly. No lines, just the weekly. And use logic. This was 2 weeks worth of boom floor. If it doesn't hold, they're going to go down one level. And this cluster is pretty strong. This candle is pretty strong. This dip may be overdone. March, remember how bad March was? The whole NASDAQ? So I would take that chunk out. I think the real floor is 75 if this debacle continues. So if I'm long, now I know there needs to be a hold at 89, otherwise I could withstand another $5-10 of pain. And if I'm looking to get long, I should know that maybe they won't hold 89, so I shouldn't go all in. And if I wanted to catch the falling knife, if I'd been dying to be long this company, I would start position, not all in position, to leave room to add maybe down here if I want to. If I'm selling puts, I better leave room. Why would I sell puts? Only to own shares. So if you don't know what that means, it's basically going long a stock now, but much lower, and getting paid for it and no money out of pocket. You're saying to somebody, I will buy your shares lower, give me your money. That's selling a put. But you better be able to buy that share lower, otherwise that's how you blow up accounts. If you promise to buy shares you can't afford. So if I wanted to go long this stock today, personally, I don't, but if I did, I would sell puts down here at the all-time lows. That's how I would handle it. This way I won't even need a rally to make money. Alright, as far as the bounce, there's going to be a lot of resistance at 110, more so at around 118. And if it gets to 140, I'd be out. Anywhere above 130, I'd be out from a trade perspective. Hopefully that helps. Again, I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I don't eat the stuff. I tried it. It didn't taste well for me. I'm not against vegan food at all. It's not a judgment on the quality of the food, the quality of business. In fact, the management was pretty slick. During the pandemic, restaurants, which are their clients, I think food outlets, they weren't tailored to retail, said, okay, so our clients are dead, businesses are shut, we're going to switch to beep, Roku, Facebook, what's going on? We're going to switch to a retail model. And now I think they have a blend of both. Let's go see what's going on with the other ones. Let's go to a daily. Facebook. Alright, so falling into support, but it better hold it, otherwise it's an inverse cup and handle that could bring down here. I'm a fan of buying dips, so find your level. What was the other one? Roku. Similar. It will have buyers in here based on this time frame. Let's go lower. Beep, what is happening? See, that's what happens when you do a video live. 60-minute. Yeah, there should be buyers in here. So what was that one? DKNG. Oh my god. Okay, so that is a floor loss right there. That is not good on the 1 hour. Let's expand to 2 hours. Oh, go to daily. Ooh, nasty. Okay, so they needed to hold this level. They are losing it. There's still chance. There's still one candle here. Maybe 46.50 will hold them. These look like solid supports. So if it comes down to here, again, the downside target of this could be much lower, but I think there's so much, like in fact, this is probably buy the, yeah, this is a note to myself to buy the dip if it gets there. So DraftKings, good long-term prognosis, I think. Don't know what's going on today with it. All right, signing out.